Welcome to episode 8 of Full Court Magic. I am your host, Don Strouble, and I'm happy to be back with you guys, this time from my house. Usually you see me in the press conference room at the Kia Center where I've been doing most of my episodes following games. Sorry, I've been away for a bit. My wife and I took a trip to California over the All-Star break. No, I was not working, needed a little reset, and it was a good time, but happy to be back with you guys. And a lot has occurred in my absence, and some of it I've been able to write about. I just haven't been able to be on the air talking about it. And namely, the biggest thing that happened is the absence, prolonged absence now of forward Franz Wagner. I'll be touching on that in this episode. Talk about the Magic's strong start coming out of uh, the All-Star break, and a few different things along the way. But first, just wanted to touch on saying how happy I am that Jace Richardson is okay after a scary fall at the dunk contest. He went for this like 360 alley oop, and he hit his head on the backboard, which kind of clotheslined him and caused him to take a nasty fall in which he landed on his back. His head rocked back. It looked like that might have hit the court too. Just was not a great scene at the Intuit Dome in Los Angeles. But happy to see that he's okay, and he actually posted a video of what the dunk would have looked like if it was successful. A video that he did in a practice run, and to be honest, that would have been one of the better, if not the best, dunks of the day. And I say that without any bias. I understand I cover this team, but it was really going to be a special dunk for someone of Jace's height, no more than 6'1". So happy that Jace is okay. I just wanted to mention that first. All right, let's get to the bad news. As you all know, Franz Wagner is out indefinitely as he continues to struggle with that left ankle that he suffered a high sprain in on December 7th against the New York Knicks. That injury at the time subsequently caused him to miss Orlando's next 16 games, over a month. And Wagner did come back in the middle of January for the Magic's road trip to Europe for a pair of games against the Memphis Grizzlies, one of which was in his hometown of Berlin, Germany. And recently, Magic president of basketball operations, Jeff Weltman, joked that, you know, nothing really would have kept Franz from not playing in that game in front of family, friends, the place where he grew up. Wagner would also appear and play in the Magic's next game in London to conclude that trip to Europe. And after that is when he experienced another absence. He would go on to miss the Magic's next 9 games, dealing with extreme soreness in that ankle, before coming back in a bench role ahead of the All-Star break for a couple of games. And now the news was dropped by the Magic on Wednesday that uh, his absence now is indefinite. He will be reevaluated in 3 weeks due to further imaging showing that uh, further rehabilitation on this ankle is necessary. So it's definitely a tough break for the Magic. Paulo Banchero talked about the impact of it. Franz's brother, Mo Wagner, talked about the impact of it. I had a story on that, and here I'm going to pull up a couple of his quotes because I want to talk about it verbatim because I feel it's really important what Mo his perspective on this, not just personally because Franz is his brother, but also from a professional standpoint and understanding what it's like to go through a lengthy rehab process. I mean, none of us are soon going to forget that Mo Wagner missed over a year with a torn ACL in his left knee. And so he was asked what advice he would give to Franz, and he said, and I quote, "I think my biggest advice is what I've learned is that it only heals if you're emotionally free and peaceful and relaxed. You can't fight it every day. Wagner continues to say, so having a time frame in which you're doing your rehab rather than a day-by-day structure is much more peaceful for the mind and much more easy for the body to heal. And I think he's been embracing that for the last couple of days, and we'll see in 3 weeks. But kind of having that time to relax his mind and let the body do its work and then be ready when you're ready. So, you know, pretty powerful stuff there from Mo Wagner, who understands the mental toll that a lengthy rehab can take on you. Now, obviously, I'm sure all Magic fans, that this goes without saying, uh, are hoping and would understand that Franz Wagner's not going to miss a year plus with this injury more than likely. This is just something that it just continues to nag him. He's tried to play through it. You're not going to play through a torn ACL. And Mo Wagner, there was speculation around his return. Would he be ready at this time? Would he be ready at this time? And then finally, I believe it was January 11th against the New Orleans Pelicans, he made his season debut, and he tore his left ACL in December 2024. So well over a calendar year after the fact. Um, and so just good stuff from his brother there, and it's good to know that he has that sort of familial support in the building with him and someone who understands, as well as the support of the rest of the organization behind him and in helping to get him back on the court because the Magic are going to need him. And he's been very limited, only 28 games this season, but he has been effective as always, and it's just such a key part of the organization. And it's a struggle for this team. I saw a stat the other day. I don't remember exactly what it was, but the amount of time that the trio of Paolo Banchero, Franz Wagner, and Jalen Suggs have spent on the floor together is been incredibly limited over the past couple of seasons. I believe it's somewhere like less than 20 games. I would have to double check that, but I don't want to, just have you guys on here watching me look at my screen. But yeah, just an incredibly small sample size. But when this group is together, uh, they are capable of being incredibly efficient and incredibly productive. And the addition of Desmond Bain was supposed to supplement that in a way that got this team over its previous humps. And Bain has been playing really well this year and has been a very consistent in terms of his health, um, and it just overall availability and production. And so that's been a good sign for the Magic because they gave up a lot to get him. Uh, and it's important that he stays on the floor and continues to get acclimated, especially during his first season in Orlando. But wishing the best to Franz Wagner, and hopeful for a speedy recovery. Hopefully, this is something that he can overcome and get back before the playoffs, and really make the impact that we all know he's capable of making because the East is not going to be an easy landscape to play in during the postseason. And the Magic are kind of on that. They're kind of on thin ice here in terms of do they stay in the playoff race? Are they going to fall to a play-in team? And they're going to need Franz Wagner regardless of where they end up in the standings come April here. So. Uh, yeah, just once again, wishing a speedy recovery to Franz and hope he gets back out there soon. Okay, the Magic responded to that bad news about Franz Wagner with a really nice performance, albeit against a struggling Sacramento Kings team whose season is effectively over, especially after it has been announced that I believe I saw reports that Domantas Sabonis, Zach LaVine, and now newly acquired DeAndre Hunter are all out for the season with their respective ailments and surgeries. And so this is definitely a beat up King squad. I mean, they don't have Dennis Schroeder or Keon Ellis anymore. Those guys were traded away to Cleveland to get DeAndre Hunter. And so Definitely a rough season for the Sacramento Kings. But this is basketball and people don't care, especially when it's time to win games. And that's what the Magic need to do. They need to win games. So this was a big time game for the Magic. They won convincingly, 131 to 94. They hit 27 threes in this contest, which if we know anything about the Magic the last couple of years, is that they have had their fair share of struggles from the perimeter, but 27 threes in this one. It is the first time in team history they've made 20 plus three-pointers in consecutive games. And the 37-point win, according to Orlando Magic PR, is the sixth largest margin of victory during a road game in Orlando Magic history. Just a big time. I mean, the last time this happened, um, yeah, a 41-point victory on yeah, yeah, against Philadelphia in November. So that holds the record right now. But just a nice win coming out of the All-Star break. This was the kind of aggression that you needed to see. You know, sometimes you don't know what you're going to get from a team coming out of the break. They could be lackadaisical, still getting their legs under them. But, Jamal Mosley uh, encouraged the team after the loss to the Bucks right before the break to, stay in shape, get your shots up, rest, but, simultaneously stay ready to go. And the Magic looked ready to go. Paolo Banchero, without his running mate and Franz Wagner, had to be aggressive, and he was. He had a game high 30 points. He was incredibly efficient. Javon Carter got his first meaningful minutes in a Magic jersey since the team acquired him after the deadline. He put up 14 points in 23 minutes on over 60% shooting from the field. And that's why you go and get a veteran like Javon Carter, who's capable of shooting the ball. I believe he was 3 of 5 from three. Really contributed to that uh, very hot shooting night from the perimeter for the Magic, and was a key element to this blowout win. So really nice way for the Magic to start things out. Still, as of Friday, we're in the seventh seed, but every win matters, especially. It's not going to be an easy stretch. This was the first game of a four-game road trip for Orlando before the Magic return home to host the Houston Rockets. And then March is going to be a sprint, and the next thing you know, you're at the end of the season. So every game matters, and you especially have to win games against struggling teams. And the Magic did that convincingly uh, to open up this West Coast road trip. So, what happens today? Well, the Magic are going to visit the Phoenix Suns. It's a 5 p.m. tip-off on NBA TV, 5 p.m. Eastern time, that is. So Magic fans don't have to stay up super late for this one if you plan on tuning in. But Phoenix is a much better squad. They've been playing really well under first-year head coach Jordan Ott. There's a lot of depth there. You know exactly the kind of problems that a Devin Booker can pose. Dylan Brooks is certainly an enforcer. And then you look at the peripheral pieces around them that are also playing really well. So definitely going to be a much bigger challenge for the Magic. And they're going to have to really bring their A game in this one, especially because then they fly back out to California to face the two LA teams and the Clippers and the Lakers. And even with the Clippers, given their situation, sub 500 team, have been playing exponentially better basketball over the past couple months after it looked like their season was dead in the water as well. And then the Lakers have also been playing good basketball. You know, Luka Doncic, LeBron, even at LeBron's age, are always going to be a handful. So the Magic really have to lock in here, because then you come home and you, like I said, you host a Houston Rockets team led by KD. That's going to be a handful as well. Şengün playing great. That just a really cohesive unit out there in Houston. So the Magic have a lot ahead of them. As always, I appreciate you guys joining me. Again, sorry for the absence. Going to do this with more regularity. Will be coming to you, I believe, the next episode. If I don't have a chance to get on beforehand, I will be coming to you post game after the Magic face the Rockets. That game is on February 26th, so just 5 days from now. And I'm really looking forward to breaking down what I see in that. But if I have the chance, I will jump in here again to talk about the team's West Coast trip and the results of that before heading back home. Uh, Please subscribe if you haven't yet. I really appreciate the support. The views are great, and if you subscribe, you can get immediate notifications, see when I come on here and talk about stuff. Please join the conversation in the comments, and please join our roundtable community where it's incredibly interactive with the fan base. No paywalls, as I've said before. You can comment, make community posts. Really join in on the conversation and be integrated with the writers and the publishers of these teams. That's not just for the Magic, that's across the board. We've seen a lot of really, really encouraging growth as a platform since launching in September. And always want to keep that going. So just once again, thanks so much for joining me. We're growing this thing slowly but surely, and that makes me really happy to see. So thank you again, guys. Until next time, this has been Full Court Magic.